special cake for Sir Hamish Hay on his birthday. The airline will provide a weekly service arriving direct from Bangkok on Thursdays and returning home the same day via Auckland. The arrival of a new airline in town isn't just a boon for tour operators hoping for more visitors coming in. Primary producers starved for cargo space to get their produce to markets in Asia are equally excited about the chance of getting more exports out.
Live South Island crayfish, hundreds of them, driven overnight from Marlborough. Every week, 3.5 tonnes go to Japan, where each one is worth $60. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. We're at Mogul's Cool Store out at Christchurch Airport. The lobsters and a whole range of other exports are being made ready for this morning's Singapore Airlines flight. There's beef for Germany. There's Southland salmon. These fish were swimming just 3 days ago. And in here, live mussels. These are the products that we air freight out to the east and further afield every week. Every time an international plane leaves Christchurch Airport, its cargo hold is stuffed full of high-value perishable products.
Probably today we're talking about $500,000, but it is not unnormal to be over $1 million New Zealand. If we have a large consignment of lobster tails, we're talking over $1 million, maybe two.
When an airline starts a service into Christchurch, it increases the air freight space available. Every Boeing 747 can carry up to 32 tonnes of cargo, but so much in demand are the products we've talked about that there's never enough space to go round.
At the peak times, which is probably October to December, December is our peak month, no, there's never enough space.
We've got very strong orders, not necessarily just in Japan, but in Europe also. We've got large orders there that just cannot be filled because of the inadequacy of the space that's available.
So Thai International's new service has been warmly welcomed.
We very much like to get onto that, for sure. I hear they're very interested in exporting live lobsters especially.
Every airline that comes in is great as far as we're concerned. It creates new markets, and especially the Asian carriers where they have access into the Japanese market, which is New Zealand's main market at the moment as far as air freight concerned.
Most of the cargo on the weekly Thai flight to Bangkok will initially be forwarded on to Europe and Japan, but exports to Thailand may well build up once the flight is established.
We're hoping to send the likes of lobster, live lobster, meat. If we can get the connections in Japan, we'll use the live lobster. There is a market for meat in Bangkok and in those areas.
Of course, planes don't just carry freight, they carry passengers as well. The Singapore plane arrived this morning with a full load of passengers direct from Singapore.
We've got a mixture of nationalities coming in. The bulk of them are from Southeast Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, increasing numbers coming in from Taiwan, and of course Japanese coming through Singapore as well.
Tourist people will tell you the more international flights the better. But the key for us is that they come here direct, which is what Singapore does, which is what British Airways does, and it's what Thai is going to do. Now, what is it about a direct flight? What's the advantage of that?
Well, of course, the passengers, it's just more convenient. They don't have to change terminals as they would do in Auckland. They arrive into Christchurch, to one terminal building. They can make their connections down south or straight into Christchurch, whichever way they're going.
The theory is that a tourist with limited time who arrives at Auckland may never get to the South Island at all, which would be a pity because, as we know, the South Island is where the scenery is. So for Canterbury, the rapid build-up of international flights is more than just a case of making the airport interesting to visit. The direct flights bring tourists who spend money with us, and their planes take away increasingly valuable export cargoes. And the more flights that come, the more likely other airlines are to think of Christchurch.